Hey, and welcome back to Chuck's Tuesday Tips. Why measure part 4? We actually have 5 parts, but we lost one. The one in between when we filled the mold with the pig head mold and it went everywhere. Anyhow, I got a little ahead of myself because I couldn't get anyone to film. I got our skeleton put together. That's not a cap it on you, Tom. That's not a guilt trip. Anyway, I got our armature assembled. That piece of wood that I had, that's our basis for our foundation, was in the rib cage. You use, on this, a small piece like this, I used one piece of, I think, 12 gauge wire. I ran it through the spinal cord into the skull. On a bigger animal, we used up to 3 wires, 4 wires, sometimes 10 gauge. Had to twist them together, say like on a deer or something. And then we wired up our legs. The way we did that is run a wire as in an inconspicuous place as you can, meaning to try not to interfere with our muscle structure, and drilled a hole through the humerus, went into the pelvis, and attached it here. Same thing here, I went in through the scap and attached it there. The problem I have with this piece is this is such a juvenile pig that the skeleton was really fragile, and if I breathed on it, it busted. So I had to do a hip replacement repair. Right there, so Stryker will sue me for copyright violation. Stryker artificial hips. But anyway, then I started pouring my foam into my rib cage and started developing my neck. You use foam wherever you can to fill in, but a lot of this, I think I'm just going to go clay on clay. And then, of course, we have our, I set my scaps here with my measurement here. That's how we know everything's in the right place according to our chart. What I'm going to do now, because we're getting close to the fun part, we always use our Coca-Cola cups, and I cut a little V in this neck here because you really got to do it however it works. I'm going to put a little bit of foam in here, the cheeks and whatnot, to develop my skull, and so I can set the eyes in. But I got an idea. You want to try to keep the foam contained as best you can, so we don't have to cut off. Oh boy, that's going to work really good. Alright. I'll mix up a little foam here. Boy, I guess I didn't really need to use the extra large cups. And we're almost to where I call the fun part. The fun part's when I get to play with the clay. So basically, just going to pour this in the back. A little on this side, a little on this side, keeping it as even as I can. Because you don't want to, you want to get it where you don't have to cut off too much. And you're going to let the overflow fill in here. We'll trim it off all down to, like I said, we got our landmarks here, our cartilage, because that is always exposed. Because what we're doing is we're making the inside, not the outside. Another thing is, if this was a bigger piece, I'd have a flange that I would have put in the armature board, and from that I would have put a nipple, like a don't laugh, Tom, like a plumber's nipple, like this, a pipe out the side, so that I could put it on an easel, you know, and flip it all around. That's how we do the big ones. This little one, I'm just doing it like this. Okay, I'm looking down here and I'm seeing that we needed more foam. I went a little bit light because if I celebrate too much, it goes everywhere. See how much was still in here? Big Tom didn't bring little Tommy. We were going to have live entertainment, but it would have been really great to have a kid around here when I'm mixing foam. And he can stick his fingers in it, or maybe even eat some, and then his mouth would get foamed together, and then we'd have to go to the emergency hospital, and you know.
Now he's never coming over.
No, not if your wife hears that. Anyway, I do my cups. You do it like shingles, so that it, like roof shingles. If you notice how rickety this is, that's another thing. I use really light wire because the skeleton was so fragile, but then it backfired on me because, oh, that's beautiful. Put a little here. Try not to waste your $5,000 foam. You know, when my teacher does it, when Fraser does it, he's like so good at this, he could just free foam it. It's perfect. One time, I was there, and he was pouring foam, and he got one drop of foam on his shoe. And of course, it was my fault. The guy never makes a mess. Never. Anyhow, so, yeah, you don't want it really like this rickety at all, but and not to make an excuse, because you need to do things right and you want to do it right, but this is just an exercise. As soon as I'm done with this whole project, it's going to go in a trash can anyway. It's just to show you how mannequins are made the correct way. Oh, and then there's a couple points I want to dispute about anatomy on some fantasy pig mannequins. Like one of the myths is that when a pig lowers its head aboard, that the shoulders come out like this and flare. Well, to do that, they need a big old tendon attached to the nose and attached to the scap, and then they need a ball joint. But this got a scapula that's welded to the rib cage with muscles. You know, what happens is when a pig lowers its head, the trapezius kind of bulges out, and it gives an illusion that, you know, the shoulders are flaring, but they really, you know, don't. That's one thing. Another thing is pigs don't have buckhorn sights. They don't sight down through that little bell shape of their nose. Otherwise their eyes would cross like this, you know. But I don't want to ruin everybody's fantasy pig mounts, because people want them as mean and nasty looking as, you know. I'll wait for this to get hard and I'll take the thing off.
That's what she said.
Yeah, I knew you were, I was trying not to go there. But I forgot I'm working with the adults only comic right here. See this here? You know, like I said, I put a little foam wherever I need to, because you know, this, I'm going to probably use foam here, get this out to 88 millimeters, which is, how much is that? Let's pretend. 88, so we need that right there. So I'll foam all that. When I foam all that in, it'll be pretty solid. I wonder how my nose cone worked. Oh man, there's foam all the way down here. Dude. This might be another one where I say, don't do it like this. Right?
Well, don't do it is also a tip.
Well, you know what, actually though, if you were going to be objective, when I was learning taxidermy, I would have rather had guys show me the train wrecks and everything and let me know what really happens, instead of when they do all these videos you buy, they mount a perfect thing and it comes out perfect, and then you're sitting there, you want to know how to fix this or fix that, or what's normal or what's not normal, and because instead you beat yourself up thinking that you're doing something wrong, and when you find out, no, it happens to everybody, but they just keep it a secret, you know,
Right.
because nobody wants to look stupid. And but I don't mind, you know, I've been told I was stupid since I was you know, that's how I roll. Still not quite, almost hard. See, my clever idea was that this was just going to come off, right? Oh wait, strength of 1,000 chucks, and it did. Got some schmegma in there. So, pull out our staple. Okay, see, we're starting to get the idea. My sockets are nice and full. My cheek, pretty good, huh? Look at that.
Nice.
Yeah. So what we can do later is we'll carve this out, set a real eye in there, and we're going to use pins, which I'll set in there, that are going to give us our eye width and everything. Well, anyway, you're starting to get the idea of where we're going with this. I'm going to let this foam harden and carve off some more and shape this down a little bit. And next time you tune in, we'll be putting green clay on it. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Chuck's Tuesday Tips.